When her mother gave her a searching look, Leigh did her best not to squirm. She wasn't used to an intense level of scrutiny from her parents. Hope and Jenna had demanded so much of their attention, what with being always on the go and their personalities, that Leigh tended to just skate through life, not attracting attention to herself. "Is everything okay with you, honey?" Leigh breathed in through her nose, trying to keep her expression from showing how very much not okay she was. She didn't want to outright lie to her mom, but she didn't want to tell the truth either. It would be very dramatic, and they'd fuss over her and ask her a million questions she didn't have answers to yet. Worst-case scenario, her mom would start wondering if, with Hope and TJ staying with them, and Leigh not being as settled as they'd thought, it wasn't a good time to sell the house after all. Her mother would still have the big old house to take care of, and her father would still be clearing snow and every other damn thing. "I'm good, Mom." That wasn't really a lie. "You don't look like you're good." "Thanks, Mom." "You know how it is when you're sleeping in a strange bed? Well, not a strange bed because it's my bed, but I haven't slept in it in quite a while. I'm just tired." "Maybe you can take a nap later." "I'm actually going Christmas shopping at 2. I want to get it out of the way before I really start digging into my stuff." Her mother frowned. "I think your dad said it might snow today, and that car they gave you doesn't look very safe for bad weather." "I'm not driving, actually. I'll be safe." "Who's... Oh." She paused for a few moments, as if gathering her thoughts, and then looked Leigh in the eye. "You're not getting yourself into trouble, are you?" She knew her mom meant by running around with Croy while her fiancé was back in Houston. "I'm not, Mom. I promise." At least, not the kind of trouble her mother was worried about. At 2:00 sharp, Croy's truck pulled into the driveway. Not wanting to give him a reason to come in or give her family another chance to question her, Leigh was ready. By the time he had the truck in park, she was halfway down the driveway. She laughed when he got out just to cross to the passenger side and open her door for her. His truck was tall, and she wasn't, so she had to grab the handhold and step onto the running board to get in. Once she pulled her legs in, he closed the door and walked back around. It was a very date-like thing to do, but Leigh decided not to read too much into that. He'd been raised to be a gentleman, and, after he walked her home last night, she knew he hadn't lost those values while she'd been away. It was probably that simple. "So, do you want to do the medium drive to the outlet mall, or the longer drive into the city?" "Outlet malls are usually clothing and shoe store heavy, aren't they? Do they have a toy store at all?" "No, and good point. To the city it is." Leigh watched her small hometown go by as he drove out of town and up the state road until they reached the on-ramp for the highway. Once he was merged with traffic and had the cruise control set, he glanced over at her. "So, you've never told me what you do for work. Or what you did, I guess." "I did. Online marketing for a big clothing brand. Campaigns and interactions and whatnot. Making sure their online presence reflects their brand and is hitting the right demographics. Stuff like that. Not a fancy job, but I enjoyed it. And I was good at it, damn it." "I've heard it's not a good idea to date your boss. Maybe this is one of the reasons why." "He wasn't my boss when we started dating. As a matter of fact, he got his foot in the door at the company as my intern." Croy's eyebrows shot up. "You must have taught him pretty damn well." "He was charming and ambitious and good at golf." Leigh snorted. The powers that be thought he'd be a great face of the company in the future, and he was promoted quickly. Then he got my promotion, and then another, and then he was my boss. All that, and it was the lack of kissing?